Frenzy, brought to you by Junction Square Pizza.
Come on in, ladies and gentlemen. It is Week 7 on the Western Slope, and it is Friday Night Frenzy. And Titus, we are now in the second week of league play for teams all across the state. Now is the time to really start thinking playoffs, and teams are starting to jockey for those playoff positions.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially this one team that I went to go cover, the Palisade Bulldogs. They had a great game last week when they came out on top. But now this is a Western Conference, or Western Slope play, my apologies. And they needed to beat this team in Rifle, who's been struggling all season long. So this was a must-win for the Bulldogs.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look. And you better believe the Palisade crowd showed up supporting their team, packed the stands, bringing that energy. Rifle got the ball first, thinking they'll get the run game going, but Palisade defense, they had other plans. The Bears tried, but like a brick wall, they couldn't get it going. Keaton Everett, who shut it down right there and let the QB know about it. Palisade with the ball now, and Branson Springer is going to hand it off to Easton Embry. Yeah, that dual sports star who throws heat on the baseball field, oh, he turned on the burners and went straight to the end zone. It is 7-0 Bulldogs. And, oh, Embry was not done. No, he'll be back, people, but now Rifle still struggling to get anything going. They would go 3 and out, and they would punt the ball to, you know who, Mr. Embry. He's on the move again, and he is going to pick up some huge yardage. I mean, again, this is a pitcher where we're talking about, the guy who plays baseball for a living, and he's taking a hit right there. He sets up fullback Caleb Johnson, who is just, you know, going to use that big size and big frame of his to get on into the end zone. And right now, it is 14-0, and it's still the first quarter, people. The crowd is hyped. They were excited, and my favorite part was that sign right there. I don't know who made that, but that was really, I loved it. Second quarter, Springer, he's going to drop back, look for Caleb Reed, but hold on, people. He gets picked off by Devin Sanchez, and it was almost a return right here, but no, they get it done. But don't sweat it, Bulldog fans, because Reed, he's got you. He says, I'll make up for it, and grabs the interception, putting Palisade in good scoring position, knocking on the door again. Springer is going to toss it to Embry, and just like that, Embry's going to find some space and get some daylight and scores his second touchdown of the half. Palisade dominated Embry, and Embry put on a show. The Bulldogs would go into the half, leading the Bears 35-0. And then the Bulldogs would take care of business in the second half as they would shut out the Rifle Bears 48-0, pushing them to 5-2 on the season and 1-0 in Western Slope Conference play.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, just important for Palisade to not slip up, and they did anything but slip up there. Kept on rolling, another dominant victory. Same score as we saw Creighton Junction against those Rifle Bears, and obviously for Rifle, not the season, you know, we had hoped after last year, making it to the state championship. They're missing, obviously, Logan Gross, and you can just tell it's sort of a rebuilding year for Ty Leba in year 2 up there for the Rifle Bears. But we've got to get to another team that loves to run the ball down in Montrose. The Redhawks welcomed League Full Doherty to town, and the whole town of Montrose was out to cheer on their undefeated Redhawks as we are underway in this important 4A SoCo League showdown. And goodness, what a boot by Zach Motley for the touchback. And we're used to seeing Montrose run most of the game, of course, but folks, number 7, Chris Mock, can sling it. Might Coach Mertens give him a chance to throw it? Well, not here, because just look at the way Elijah Womack runs. Big, fast, athletic, and so hard to bring down as he gets the first down. Now the sweep to the shifty Aiden Grijalva, and he bowls over a defender and into the end zone for 6 Montrose. Right down the field, it's 7-0 next drive, and somewhere in there, Chris Mock pitches it to Chase Meehan, and Meehan finds his way in. Tack on another 7 for Montrose quickly. The 6-0 Redhawks lead at 14-0, and let Riley Navarrete tell you, that's a touchdown. A controversial moment here next drive. Doherty heaves it downfield, and a great effort by Jody Nola trying to make the grab, but I think this ball clearly hits the ground. Nevertheless, a completion is the call, and it's a big call because later in the drive on 4th and goal, Leland Frechas finds Jalen Hall open in the end zone, and so the Spartans are not going away. It's 14-7, but after a Montrose fumble near the goal line, Doherty was backed up, and goodness, Frechas is moving around and moving too much. It's Josh Maddox who eventually brings him down. Crowd wanted the safety, but the right call down at the 1, and of course this time Montrose right down the field and into the end zone. Again, it's Grijalva, his second score of the day as the Red Hawk offensive line just continue to maul. It's 21-7 late in the half. And Doherty moved it again, got it deep into Montrose territory, but the Redhawks defense makes the play. Ball's on the ground, and Dylan Thompson is on it. So under a minute left in the half, and finally, the Redhawks call a pass that fooled me, and Chris Mock throws an absolute dime down the field. It's Meehan on the receiving end. Such a huge sequence to end this half as the Redhawks are rolling into halftime, up 28-7 at the half. And at the half, we were treated to a great show by the Montrose band, including a killer performance by the bass guitarist. Heck of a bass line. And boy, we had a lot of points in the second half as the Redhawks matched their first half total with another 28 in half two. The Spartans did put some points on the board late, but still another clean, dominant performance by the Redhawks. So move now to 7-0, and looking ahead to next week, they've got a big road test with 5-2 Mesa Ridge. But of course, Montrose keeps on rolling in their second game of league play.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not surprised at this point, right? What I've seen from Montrose, I've been there about 3 times. I see their run game is effective. They're big. They just overpower guys, and I think they're going to be a team to go far in the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely a team to watch out for. When you look at that 4A bracket when it comes to the playoffs, the team that they're looking out for is Pueblo West. And mark your calendars, folks. In November, Pueblo West is coming to town to end the regular season. Those could be 2 undefeated teams in that game. But we've got to get to some more scores from across the state. And Titus, how about the Grand Junction Tigers, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh, my goodness.
That's about as dominant as it gets. A 50-point victory expected against a winless Thornton Trojans team. But again, when it comes to Grand Junction, these league games, they cannot slip up. More than Palisade, more than anyone else, they're in a developmental league, I-25. Only one team from that league will make the postseason. So they essentially have to go unbeaten in that league play. And it starts here. We started last week with Gateway, and we got another dominant win for the Grand Junction Tigers over Thornton.
I mean, well, if there's anybody that can do it, I have my money on the Grand Junction Tigers. My only thing I would love to say, I would love to see Will Applegate go up against the running back for Montrose. Who would win that battle right there? I'm just curious.
Those are 2 big guys. And don't forget about Montrose's quarterback. When he can throw it, he can make some plays, Chris Mock. But Elijah Womack, Will Applegate, 2 great athletes on the Western Slope. Let's get to some more scores. The Delta Panthers, they got a victory on the road in the West League play over Middle Park, 42-13. And how about the Grand Valley Cardinals? They got a victory over Olathe as the Pirates have sort of come down to earth after that great 2-0 start. But Titus, what an incredible week of high school football across the Western Slope. Folks, it's getting more and more important. The further we go, we are getting so close to playoff time in high school football. We cannot wait. But here live from the KREX5 studios in Grand Junction, I'm Big Will Levinson. He's
Titus Cleveland.
Friday Night Frenzy returns next week.